Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Protect Your Mind from Dandapani. So this is going to be a very, very short one, depending on how much I talk. But I was thinking about this, like Protect Your Mind, I am kind of curious as to what he means by this. Again, I'm not too sure I don't know what to say, his following, what he follows in particular. I don't know if it's Advaita Vedanta or something else different. I think I'm not sure. The mind. So I was thinking, like, whoa, protect your mind. You know, the brain is the organ, the mind is the idea that operates the brain, I suppose. That's the brain energy. The electrons in your brain is perhaps the mind. So how to protect your mind. It's interesting how to protect your mind. Meaning that, I know in Advaita Vedanta, your mind is part of the, how do I say, it's the ego, I guess you could say. It's the ego. Your mind is the ego because it falls for all the sufferings. Your mind's for all your thoughts, your emotions, and a lot of other things in your body. So, interesting that you want to protect your mind and not, say, overcome or to calm the mind or silence the mind in to a sense, but instead protect it. So let's go ahead and get started. Ooh.
One of the greatest things you can do for your mind is to create a filter for your mind, to be able to wisely discriminate what enters your mind. The same way we have filters in our home. We have a filter for our kitchen sink to make sure large pieces of food doesn't get into our kitchen drain and clog it up. The same for our shower drain. We have a filter so that hair doesn't get in and clog up our shower drain. I don't have that problem, but perhaps some of you do. So why not create a filter for our mind as well? So what is the filter we want to create? The filter is discrimination. The ability to discriminate between what is uplifting to you and what is not uplifting to you. Ask yourself, is the music I'm listening to uplifting to me? Is it helping me? Is it shaping my subconscious, my mind, in the way that I want it to shape it?
The music. This seems very interesting. The reason why I say this is because uplifting me, shaping my mind, my subconscious in a way that I want it to be shaped. Whenever I heard of this, I thought of all the kind of bad music, the one that says, "I am better than everyone else. I can do this. I can do that. I don't care about you." It's like, is that music good for me? Is music I'm listening to uplifting to me? Is it helping? Me saying that I'm better than you is going to uplift me. So I don't know if that's the right word to use to say that uplifting to me. I'd say more along the lines of maybe perhaps just a general uplifting, as in the human people, not the human people, uplifting to people in general, because then this takes away the selfishness. There's the word. the selfishness to it, uplifting to me, as opposed to uplifting to humanity or uplifting to the people, meaning that it's not only uplifting to me but to people as well. Is it a music that says to be good to people, to be kind to people? Obviously, do not get used, do not get abused, but be kind, generous. Generous doesn't mean money. It could be information, giving your time to them. That is very much more generous than money. But yeah, instead of uplifting to me, and now I hope I'm not exactly. I would love to ask him this. Like, do you mean when you say uplifting to me? I think of like these music in the Western world where they're like, "I'm better than you. I'm the only one that matters. Who cares about you? I don't need you," and all these uplifting to me, but not to anyone else.
Are the books I'm reading uplifting to me? The shows I'm watching on TV, are they uplifting to me? What about the people I interact with? Are
Oh,
they uplifting to me?
oh,
All of those things influence our mind, create patterns, in our subconscious, help to shape our subconscious, and also leaves emotion in our subconscious, which we then have to deal with, that influence how we act and react to life's circumstances. So creating a filter for your mind, using your wisdom to discriminate between what is uplifting to you and what is not uplifting, is something worth striving every day to cultivate in your life.
Okay, so something that's not uplifting to me is you complaining or you needing my help because you're downlifting me by saying you need my help. You're eating up my time, the time that I would like to be doing something else. Interesting. I mean, I get what he's trying to say, honestly. I would love to ask him this question just to see if he would change perhaps the wording instead of uplifting to me, just uplifting in general, as in more than just you. Because there's this, he keeps saying uplifting to me, helping me, benefiting me, grading me, making me better, me. And this is the kind of idea that's in the Western, well, in the United States, probably in the Western world, but United States for sure. Interestingly enough, I remember listening again when I wanted to go to Japan. Still kind of do, but probably never going to ever happen. Probably will never leave this part of the world again. Anyways, that the Japanese people, I remember them asking about the Americans. I haven't really got a chance to see other places because it just never popped up on my feed. But they said that they were jealous of how not demanding, but how if they want something, they'll go for it or they'll ask for it. They have no issues if they want or need something to ask or try to get it. And they said in the Japanese culture, it's always about the others. It's never about inconveniencing the others. So if there's something that you want and it may inconvenience other people, you don't ask it. Whereas the Americans over there, if they want something, they'll ask for it. But it's not to say that Americans are inconveniencing people. It's just, I guess it's the culture. In America, if you want something, there's nothing wrong with asking for it. You know, if you want to borrow something, if you need something, you can always ask for it. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it, but you can always ask for it. There's not an issue at all. You know, you're asking. Taking is a different story, but asking is another story. So, and I've also heard that that Americans are selfish and self-centered, and a lot of the self and me stuff, which I've heard as well, which is kind of true in this culture that you it's about you, but it doesn't have to be in such a negative way. It can be about you and still be positive to other people. You know, you uplift yourself, you make yourself a better person, you become rich, and then you can help other people. You can be a great CEO. You can be donating a lot of money to places that needs money, or donating food to a place that needs money. You know, but it's always in kind of a negative light. But then again, you know, when you look at stories in the news about anything, it's going to be mostly negative. Why? People love negative stuff. And the reason why for that, I believe, is because if it's positive, that's great. That's fine. You know, it's not gonna affect me. And most positive things in the world it's not going to come over to me and make me positive or make me whatever. But negatives, that could affect me, and I need to know about it, because if that negative stuff is coming my way, I need to find a way to avoid it. So. And also, people love drama as well. So drama and negative things are things you want to avoid. So in order to avoid it, you need to know how to avoid it, where to avoid it, what to avoid it. Positive things, well, you know, more than likely the case is not going to happen to you. And if it does, then whether you knew it or not, you know, it will happen. So obviously people want to see positive things, but most of the positive things in life happened already and the moment has passed. Whereas negative things, it may have happened and it may have passed, but it could still be happening. And if it's still happening, you want to know about it. So this is my belief and why I think most of the news that you hear is always going to be negative. Well, not always, mostly negative, because these are crucial information that we need to know. Because if they affect us, it's going to be bad. If something good affects us, no one's gonna complain about that. It's just a happy, happy joy. So, and I know every country. I'm sure most countries heard bad things about America, but the people who come over here and visited are always so surprised about what they hear is completely wrong. And I hope most people understand this. That sure, I highly advise people to listen to people, heed their words, but to judge for yourself. Meaning that you have to go out there and either talk to the person or see for yourself. But be mindful if the locals say to avoid certain areas, take that as absolute truth. Because if the locals are saying that, meaning that someone from say the United States goes to your country and says, "Oh, you want to come visit the United States? Avoid this city or this state or that." You may want to hear that, especially if they're from that area. Because yeah. But if it's outsiders talking about it and they've never been there, or maybe even some has, but you still just never really honestly know. Outsiders, you still want to hear them out, absolutely. And if they've been there, you may want to say, okay, they say they don't go to America. Well, maybe I don't go to the area that they went to, and yeah. But this applies more than just to America, of course. This applies to any country except for North Korea. Well, I don't know. North Korea has some. I think they have some tourism areas there, which I don't know. I don't know why you want to go there. But yeah, there in most countries it's going to be okay to go to, I think, and to visit for yourself. Anyways, more action to. Did I want to say anything else about the protect your mind besides that stuff? I guess because the protect your mind was about the me stuff, I do worry about that. You become self-centered, so be mindful. Anyways, that's it for our protect your mind. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.